Come on, Twitter. Sorry, X. Do you call it X?
Nah, I call it Twitter. I don't think I can call it X.
I just don't think anyone...
I do try.
Nobody
sometimes.
will know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm just like on X. It's like, what are you talking about? Like ecstasy? I'm like, no.
Yeah, that is actually... I didn't think about that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you're on X. You're like, whoa, that used to mean something way different when I was younger.
Come on now.
Okay. Leave the dog in here.
Share broadcast. There we are. It always lags a little bit. I don't know why. Well, for everybody who's already in here, welcome. I'm just tweeting the link out, and we are getting ready here. So drop some plays in the chat. If there's anything good, maybe we'll tail it. But we've got somebody on here who's red hot right now that I'll probably be tailing personally because it worked out last week. Cool. All right. Tweet it out. Well, welcome on to another edition of Heaters here. I mean, last week couldn't have worked out better. You read the UNLV game like a book. That was about as easy as it gets. I think you, me and all my buddies in my group chat, and then a bunch of the people in the chat tailed. So you cashed us out, and we appreciate it.
Yeah, that was fun, man. That was really fun. They're on Friday night this week, so tomorrow night. So I don't know. I don't know. They might be worth going back to because their number, they were only like 6.5, and I was like, I don't know, man. They kicked the crap out of Fresno State. That wasn't even close.
Yeah, and they were playing with swag, like they were feeling themselves. It was definitely a team that I think, carries that momentum along with them into the next week. What'd you say the line's at, right?
I think it was like 6.5 last I saw. I don't even know who they're playing.
Syracuse, 6.5.
Yeah, they're playing somebody. Yeah, Syracuse.
Yeah, total is 58.5.
I wouldn't mess with the total. Their defense actually looked good. That kind of started getting me nervous because I really didn't have them much with the spreading the money line. I was more the total, and it's like, dude, we're gonna need some points out of these other guys. Like, it's great that you got 45, but like, what are these other dudes doing? Like, put something on the board.
Yeah,
they finally did though late.
Luckily, they got I think 2 offensive touchdowns too, or at least 1. I think they got a scoop and score, and then I don't know, they got a couple picks, but yeah, it felt like at first they weren't gonna get it done.
Yeah, I was getting nervous, man.
Quick.
I was like, dude, they better, because it was 45-0. I was like, dude, if they score here, they have to make the extra point. So I was like sweating because I was like, there might not be any more points in this game, and then turns out there was a ton of points. There's like 28 more points. But you know how
Fresno State did exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, you're just like, dude, they got to get it now, or they're never going to get it. It's kind of like baseball.
You have
whenever
to assume
your
the
team
worst.
scores 3 runs and like early in the game, and they just never score again. Like that can happen, but not in football.
Yeah,
not totally.
No, and there were a couple times in that game where I was like, "This is going to be easy," and then it wasn't. And I feel like that's why I love college football so much, because the variance and the runs and the confidence between those teams.
Oh, dude, the Georgia-Bama game? How electric was that?
And you even said it perfectly, too. You're like, we're going to take the UNLV cash, we're going to ride that into Georgia-Bama, and we're going to roll that over and have a great time watching football. And it was probably one of the best games of my lifetime.
I like trolling whenever those games happen. Like, immediately, like, once Bama scores, like, dude, there's no chance they lose now. Just get the Georgia guys going. And then just go back.
Yeah, well,
over.
Yeah, of course. And you saw the Georgia guys on the sideline after their play too. They were like waving goodbye at everyone and just having the time of their lives. And
that was
quickly.
Dude, that game was incredible. And it kind of sucks because I was looking at the schedule. We don't have one like that this week. Nothing close.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So
I think next week that has an awesome slate.
It's Texas plays somebody next week.
Yeah, I think it's October 12th is like the best slate of the year or at least people were saying, but
all right, so we're getting there.
We're cool.
Getting there.
Well, I don't love the college slate tonight personally, but I feel like there could be some value there. But we'll start obviously with what everybody wants to hear, and it's Thursday Night Football, NFC South matchup between two teams that I think are surprising a lot of people, especially the Bucs. Obviously, Baker has been insane, and the NFC South, everybody was kind of low on at the beginning of the year, and now it's like there might be three wagons in there just hiding undercover. So I know you got an SGP for this game tonight, but give me your first thoughts looking at these lines. It's Falcons are -2.5 at home. Total is 43.5, and could be an interesting one.
I think this game's going over. I know it's a Thursday night game, but that's like the laziest take you can make is, oh, well, it's under Thursday night. And you're like, dude, that's not. I mean, I get where you're going. Like, I get what. Honestly, like, I totally understand that. But like, I don't know. Start digging in and start looking, and you're like, dude, the Falcons haven't really put together a game yet, and it looks like they're about to, though. Like, they do not look bad. Like, the last week they did score whatever they scored, 26 points. That was fake. They recovered a punt in the end zone, and they had a pick six that it deflected off somebody and just fell in a linebacker's hands, and he took it home. So like, those don't really happen. But if you watch that game, they moved the ball up and down the field. So I think they're going to get pushed by the Bucs, because I think the Bucs, you saw what they did to the Eagles. I know the Eagles don't have the best defense, but they kept pushing. Like, they were killing them. And the Eagles kind of almost like came back and made it a game. So if that were to happen tonight, the Bucs get out to a lead, they're going to keep pushing. So I think they can move the ball all over Atlanta, and I think Atlanta has the firepower to move it back. So whenever you get a situation like that, that's called the jackpot, dude, because you can just start taking different pieces from each team, throw them in a nice big SGP, and have a Thursday night party,
Yeah, I think some of that line, I don't know, it might be that Thursday Night Football kind of crap game sentiment, because 43.5 at that total is like
super low.
Another one where it's just, why is that so low? It's indoors. Divisional teams, obviously, sometimes you think they might beat up on each other and obviously have a little bit more tape and a little bit more fire on defense. But both of these teams are kind of built to score. And I think you're totally right. I'm looking at some of these props too. Like I'm just salivating at some of these alt lines. I think these slot guys like your SGP, which we'll get to, could really be eaten in the middle of the field and on some of those short routes. So. I guess we'll segue. So you put it out earlier in the article. Obviously, it's in your DubClub and all over, but give the people your same game parlay, which I believe all your lines come from FanDuel, correct?
Yeah, generally speaking, they're the ones that they don't limit that much. Like you do get limited, but they'll let me, I don't bet what they limit to, so we're good. So always FanDuel. Shout out FanDuel. Thank you. The best play on the board tonight I think it's Drake London, 5.5 receptions over. That's plus 102 at FanDuel. They've got the only plus money line there is right now. Everywhere else is not at that. So if you're going to play this, you have to play it at FanDuel unless you want to pay minus 120, which no one wants to do that. Mike Evans is another one I got, 60 plus, and then the SGP. So the SGP, I left Evans out of it, and I just did Kirk Cousins, 200-plus passing yards. He's done that in 3 straight games. The first one doesn't count, the first game. That doesn't count at all. It looked like he hadn't played in forever because he hadn't.
Because he hadn't, yeah.
Yeah, he didn't play any preseason, nothing like that. I think week 1 in the NFL now, just throw it out of your, whenever you research and stuff, don't even look at it. It doesn't matter. That's like a preseason game because, they just –
They don't play preseason anymore. Nobody does.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No one plays preseason. So, if you watch those games, you're like, man, these teams suck. And then you realize they all sucked. And it's like, oh, well, something's up. And what do they all have in common? Nobody plays preseason. So that's probably what it is. So get rid of the week 1 and start looking at what he's done since. He's been 200-plus in every game. Hasn't really been pushed much. I think the Tampa could push him, though. So if he does get pushed, he's going to go way over 200. But 200 is a nice floor. Drake London probably going to catch 5 balls if he goes over 200. And if Kirk Cousins can throw for over 200 yards, that means that the Falcons did move the ball, hopefully put some points on the board. And if that's the case, then we could run it back with Chris Godwin on the other side, 5+ receptions. Where the reason I'm doing receptions on both of these, because both these teams kind of play high, so underneath stuff is open. So we could get lucky and get like 2 balls that get you no yards, but those are receptions. And that's going to help us out, I think, in this thing. I wouldn't do yards on either one of these. They're both. I don't think they're going to go under. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying the reason I wouldn't do yards is I think receptions is just better in this particular situation.
Yeah, totally. I love that. And, honestly, you're completely right. Those are not the guys to take yards on. But, man, the knock on Kirk Cousins for being bad in primetime, I think he kind of put that to bed a little bit last year before the injury, or year prior, and then against Philly earlier in the year.
Yeah,
so I think
I'm
this
good with that now. That was when he was supposed to win late in the season, that kind of stuff. I don't really think he feels that kind of pressure. That was a different contract. He's got another. You know what I mean? Like everything's just different.
Yeah, 100%. And now he's got a little juice in Atlanta. I think he's walking with some different swag right now.
Mm-hmm.
Love Kirk Cousins on his chain mode. Yeah, I mean, this game could be weird. I think if you want to sprinkle on something crazy, I could see potentially a defensive touchdown on one of these sides. It's just the ball's going to be in the air a lot. I think there could be some chaos, and God, I just hope. Yeah, something, man. I don't know. It just feels like the ball will be in the air a lot. And then if you're going to take yards, it's probably Mike Evans, right, if anybody.
Yep. On my stream that we just got off of, we got kind of weird because we had a $25 no sweat SGP. So it only got up, it was 8 legs, and it only got up to 14.20, so it's a pretty watered down one. But I watered down the 8-leggers. You know what I mean? Like, you don't, like, I'll go nuts on the 3-leggers, where they're all like plus 400, but like you can't really do. I mean, I guess you could, but in a same game to find 8 different alt lines feels kind of ridiculous. But what we did there was it's 25 to get 355, I'm pretty sure. Kirk Cousins 200+, Darnell Mooney 40+, Drake 5+ receptions, Bijan 3+ receptions. Run it back on the other side. Baker 200+ passing yards, Godwin 5+ receptions, K. Dotton 3+ receptions. So deliberately leaving out Evans on that just in case. And I feel like that one's good. I didn't want to put Drake in there either, but I'm just so sold on Drake London being good. Like, and they're using that. Like, if you watch the last few weeks, his targets 7, then 9, then 12, and then if you watch the games, he's first look, like he's first read. It looks like the plays are designed for him. So it's and he's open every time. So I feel like his receptions are one that you can just take and just hope the guy doesn't get hurt tonight. Like that would probably be the way he doesn't get there. You know what I mean? Like, to be honest with you.
Yeah, his separation is crazy. I mean, we knew he was going to be that kind of talent, and obviously we didn't get to see the full scope of it with oh God, I can't even remember their quarterback last year.
They were terrible.
Yeah, awful.
Ritter, I don't even think he's in the league.
Desmond Ritter, yeah.
And it's just like
yeah, and honestly, I'm a habitual buy low guy. It's a problem of mine. I do it in fantasy. Whatever. I do it on props. I always do, but there's one guy that I'm eyeing because his reception number is so low now. Kyle Pitts at 2.5 receptions, man. I hate it because it's like they got a beef with Kyle Pitts for some reason. They just don't give him the ball. But 2.5 receptions when his targets are still iffy, and I think they know that Drake London's going to get a lot of attention here. I think they might script a couple plays in there for him just to shut the people up. But Kyle Pitts is a guy I might buy low on tonight. But I don't know. Might be a live bet.
I'm done with Kyle.
Yeah.
I've had enough. I've had enough.
I know. I can't stop. I know. I'm addicted.
It happens. Well, I get like that. I'm like that with my dingers. It's Jose Siri.
It just always looks right there. It's like,
Jose
why
Siri's
can't he?
My guy. Like I will bet him and bet him and bet him. He'll strike out 3 times every single time, but I'll still bet him anyways because that one time.
Yep. Yeah. No, I know. I will die on the sword for Kyle Pitts. Unfortunately, maybe I'll regret that. Well, it's a bit of a lackluster college football Thursday. Well, to
What do
some,
we
I
even
don't know,
have?
but
Yeah, no, some
we got
guys, I don't
Texas
know.
State,
Bunch of
yeah,
Tommy's got a
Texas
bunch of
State and
stuff.
Troy, and then Sam Houston and UTEP. Um, I got nothing for either of those games. I don't know if you've looked at those lines at all. I'm sure
I'm
Tommy's got
looking.
something, and I'll probably tail it because Tommy's public college football
Tom-
plays have been
Tommy's
crazy
good,
lately.
man. Tommy's
Yeah,
very
he's
good
so
at college
consistent.
football. No, Sam Houston State. A lot of guys in my in the chat in the live stream today, they were saying Sam Houston. I don't know. One guy likes Texas State. I'll be honest with you. There's no chance I'm betting this. I got that giant SGP with 8 legs in it. So no matter who has the ball, like I'm in. You know what I'm saying? I'm locked in. Like we got everybody. So like it's just gonna be one of those where I'm at bowling. We got bowling league tonight. Game's gonna be on.
Oh yeah,
We got 8 different legs. We got a couple straight bet. You know what I mean? Like I'm all set, dude. Like I
yeah,
don't need any college
yeah. Can't
football.
yeah.
It's just I'm all set.
If you already can't keep track of how many bets you got in, I don't know if you need more bets. Unless it's a Saturday, Sunday. That's
Yeah,
obviously an
yeah, that's
exception.
different. Pick it, dude. Pick
Yeah.
it'll save your life like that. Especially
True.
wait till basketball
True.
season when you got like 30 different NBA props,
Yeah.
a couple college
Yeah.
basketball games. Before you know, you're like, dude, I don't even know what I have. Like you're
Which
watching, like
starts
I
tomorrow,
don't know
by the
what I
way.
have right now. Yeah.
NBA preseason tomorrow. We're coming up on the equinox. I think it's October 28th is the guaranteed sports equinox, which, man, can't
I'm gonna
come soon
watch
enough.
preseason this year, NBA.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
I've been sitting on a take that I think you could probably bend the books over on the first night. Or I'm sorry, the first night where everybody plays because they don't know rotations. And if you watch the preseason, but watch, not look at the box score, you could probably figure out who's going to slot in certain places. You know what I'm saying? And while the books are going to price those guys, like they're going to suppress all their numbers, you'll know which one is likely to
Yeah.
get more shots than what, you know what I'm saying, the books are thinking he's going to get.
Yeah. I mean, I've always said I think specifically live betting the NBA is one of the most profitable, easiest ways to bet because you can predict rotations so easily and know exactly when those
You know who's
swings
coming,
come on,
yeah.
on a live. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
Well, we
defender
got
gets
that.
in foul trouble, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
you score on the
Yeah.
other side, you're like, okay, cool. Well, now his points go up. And a
Exactly.
lot of times the guy's already been getting locked down.
Yeah, I already am nervous though. It's every year, especially with NBA lines in particular. Obviously NFL, but NBA lines are just getting so sharp. I mean, we're gonna have to find our edges, especially early on in the season here. So I appreciate everybody, by the way, who watches Summer League and posts about it because I read those and I keep that in mind. So I appreciate everybody that grinds the Summer League tape. Well, is there anything last week when I asked you this question of what you're looking ahead to this weekend, any plays in particular? You gave the people UNLV, and that was maybe bet of the year, as easy as it gets, and you read it like a book. So is there anything that you see in this slate this weekend, college or NFL, that you really like right now?
So far in college, the only one that I love is Indiana. You can get it at Fanatics. A lot of places don't do team totals, like alt team totals, but Fanatics will. And they've got 29.5 points for Indiana at plus 110. And I think Indiana is going to hang a 30 burger on Northwestern, like no problem. They might actually be good. Like I don't know how good, but like kind of good. Not just like, oh yeah, look at Indiana. You know, they're whipping up on random teams. Like they might actually be good. They beat the crap out of UCLA. Everyone they've played, not that UCLA's great, but like they went to the Rose Bowl and just destroyed them. It wasn't even close, dude. It was like they hung 42. The kid they got playing quarterbacks, Max Superstar, he's still nice. The coach from James Madison, I guess
Signetti is the man.
Yeah,
He's a
I guess
genius,
he's
dude.
just
He's
the winner.
next. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
he just wins. Like they just go, he just goes wherever he wants to go and just wins. So I'm thinking, I know Northwestern plays slow, blah 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 blah, but they gave up 26 to Duke. Like again, like Duke is, I think they're undefeated, but they're not good. And like I don't know, I think Indiana's going to go there and hate. Like Indiana hasn't scored less than 42 this season so far. Like they put
And they
points on
did
the board.
One of the games was in a damn monsoon too. So I mean that offense rolls. The Indiana's going to have to break the bag out for Signetti because everybody's going to be trying to pull him out of there. I mean he's just done it. I mean he brought all his guys from JMU, and what's crazy is he recruited so well at JMU. They're still a wagon this year. All their best
crazy.
guys left and went to Indiana, and they're still awesome, which rarely happens, especially now with transfer portal and everything. But yeah, I love that, and I will be tailing it because obviously what you did for me with UNLV, I owe it to you. But I got a spicy one for you.
What do you got?
It's a little bit of a narrative play. I can't end a stream without talking about Iowa, obviously. But as you know, Iowa's tight end university. You know, we got the legends. We got George Kittle, Sam Laporta, TJ Hawkinson, Noah Fant, all of them in the league right now. But there's the next guy up, and that's Luke Lachey. Luke Lachey is the tight end at Iowa. He's the man. He's probably our, other than Caleb Johnson, best offensive weapon. Little fun fact about him, his dad is a former Ohio State offensive lineman, one of the best they've ever had, played in the NFL as well, and he's an announcer at Ohio State. Iowa is going to Columbus this weekend and going up against the Buckeyes. Luke Lachey is plus 450. He's never scored in their stadium, was injured one other time that they played. This is a legacy bet. Plus 450, you can get 5-1 as well. Luke Lachey to score against Ohio State this weekend. And then if you want to really get spicy, Caleb Johnson, who, if it weren't for Ashton Genty, would be the best running back in the country right now, is also an Ohio native. Both kids grew up rooting for Ohio State. If you want to get spicy, parlay both of them to score. It's about plus 3,000, 3,500. So I like my narrative plays, and anybody who's got beef with Ohio State, I'm riding with. So.
Yeah, no, I like narrative, especially narrative street in college kind of works because they're just, it's an emotional game. Like these kids are all emotional. I mean, they're kids, dude.
UNLV.
They get up, man. Yeah, so no, I like both of those. I'll look at those. I can't really bet those in Massachusetts, which sucks.
Yeah.
No player props. But no, if you want more narratives, dude, what about Clemson? I think they're still kind of feeling that beat down from Georgia. And if you've seen what they've done since then, man, they show up and they're about business, dude. Like every team, they don't play around.
They got Florida State this week, right?
Yep, they have Florida State. I think they were dogs at one point over the summer in this game. Now they're 14.5-point favorites because Florida State sucks. But Florida State has all but quit. Look at what they did against SMU last week. It was awful. Awful. They should be ashamed of themselves. And I think Clemson, it's just the wrong kind of thing here. Like they're matching up with a team that wants to kill you, and also they've already quit. Like their season's over. They've had it's just been terrible. So they could get just boat raced. Like I hate laying 14.5, but like that could be a 50 burger to like 17. You know what I mean? Like,
and that's another prove it game. You know, that's a Florida State was, I don't know if they were the favorite to win the ACC, but they were definitely up there. And I think people were writing off Clemson, especially after that loss. But Cade Klubenik is a man on a mission right now, and that team looks really good. I think last week they were like 60-1 to win the national championship, and now they're down to like 40-1. So they're definitely moving up, and Vegas sees they're trending.
Dude, they lost to Georgia. No shame in that. You know what I mean? Like, it's fine, dude. Like, so.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you, Slop.
We got bowling tonight. We got 2 soccer games before that, so got a lot going on. Eat some pizza. It's going to be a great night, bro. I cannot wait.
Great night. Yeah, great night. Huge weekend. If you guys want to tail all Slop's plays, the link is right underneath this stream. Slop, I really appreciate it, man. And best of luck on your bets, and best of luck in bowling. Go kill it.
Oh, my pleasure, dude. I'll talk to you later, Alex.
Yep. See ya.
Later.
All right, guys. Well, Slop has to jump, but we got Dead Press picks coming on here shortly. And in the meantime, I'm going to be going through some of these chats here because I saw Alpha Dog Bets in there dropping his Rutgers plays. Of course, no bias after I just got done talking about Iowa, so maybe I shouldn't say that. But let's see what these chats say. By the way, if you got a play tonight, if you got a fantasy question, a prop, straight, total, anything for the weekend, drop it in here and let's get into it. Rutgers, Nebraska, game of the millennium. I don't know about that one. Although I don't think Nebraska expected for Rutgers to arguably the hardest, be the hardest game on their schedule They definitely got surprised by Illinois, and I'm rooting for Rutgers 100%. I want every team that plays Nebraska to destroy them, so I'm all Rutgers Alpha, and I appreciate your energy, your anti-Nebraska energy. Nerfy King, be careful with Sam Houston tonight. Everyone and their mother is 100% confident in that spread. I am a contrarian, so I appreciate that because I've seen it a lot too, and I did have some sharp guys on stream yesterday giving out Sam Houston, and I really liked their case, but I've now seen it a lot. And Nerfy King, maybe we think similarly, where if it feels too good to be true, it probably is. Drake London, 5 receptions, so you're with Slop on that one. Drake London's getting open. He's running those short routes. So any guy in the slot in that offense, we saw what happened when Minnesota put Justin Jefferson in the slot. Obviously, that's Drake London is not Justin Jefferson, but scheme-wise, Kirk Cousins is a dump-off king. I mean, he made a dump-off to end their season on 4th down, so he's going to do it at every opportunity, clearly. Yeah, guy knows crop. I do know crop, thanks to my great friends in Iowa who teach me crop. It feels right, backroom bets. Absolutely. First touchdown. Ooh, I should have asked Slot before he got off. Sorry, I missed this. First touchdown for tonight. I'll give one out. Man, I'll give one out. I just don't want to give a square play. I got to give something fun. I said him earlier, and I think everybody hates him right now, which is exactly why I love him. I think I like Kyle Pitts. Sorry. I like Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts or Bucky Irving, those two. Those are my 2 first touchdown bets. I don't know anything. I bring people on the stream who are much smarter than me and tell their plays, but you asked me what I liked. That's what I like. So take it or leave it with that one. How much of a chance does Troy have tonight? Great question. Go look at Tommy G Returns Twitter. That man knows college football. Go look at Unit King's Twitter. That man knows college football. Slop knows college football. Go look at – there's a lot of people that I think have takes on this game tonight, and I'm definitely not one of them that you should be listening to, but there are a ton of people on DubClub that are much more educated in college football. Backroom bets. I subscribe to Lou's Big Winner. Can he do a weekly stream? I would love to have Lou on here. Lou is recognizing Jewish holiday today, so he's out. But we will definitely get Lou on here. Actually, we're going to be him and one of our new accounts reps, Riley, are Ohio State fans, and Iowa plays Ohio State this weekend. So maybe we'll go live at the bar because we're going to be talking some shit, and it's Big Ten football. So we'll definitely get Lou on some more streams. He knows ball, actually. Surprisingly, he knows ball. Let's see what else we got here. Shy, what's going on, man? Cronall. Cronall's my boy. What's up, Cronall? Good to see you in here. If you have a good record in the Big Ten now, 5 weeks, you're a solid team. Couldn't agree more. FanDuel Guru in the house. What's up, my boy? I already know FanDuel Guru has something cooked up for tonight. Guru, what you got? And also, Guru, if you're free and you want to hop in, I'll send you the link right now. If you want to hop on stream, I'll send you this link. Even if you can't, I'm going to send it to you because you're the man. FanDuel Guru. If you look at FanDuel Guru's, it's so hard to say fast. FanDuel Guru's Twitter, he's either hitting the craziest ticket you've ever seen or he's about 1 or 2 legs away from the craziest ticket you've ever seen. And that's why we tail, because it can be anybody's day, and it just happens to be his day quite often. Cool. Just sent you an invite, Guru. I don't know if you can make it, but if not, that's cool. All right, let me jump back in the chat here. I wish Twitter needs to figure out their chat. Elon, if you're listening, you probably are. You probably watch every stream. I know Elon is a huge football fan, loves to bet on sports. Can confirm, but surprising. Bet sharper. Yeah, very surprising that Lou knows ball. Guys, everybody in this chat right now, by the way, everybody in this chat is super sharp. So if you're in the chat, go follow those guys. Bet Sharper is one of the smartest dudes I've ever talked to. Every time I talk to him, especially baseball, I feel dumb, but B, I feel like I'm learning something. So we always appreciate that. We're hitting a lotto tonight, FanDuel Guru? Absolutely. Just entered the lab. I'm sure you're cooking up something crazy. I have no doubt. All right. We got Dead Press Picks coming on shortly. I'm going to text him real quick, make sure his link is working correctly. Drop some more plays in the chat, though. Let's talk ball. We're in here, right? Let's talk ball. Cool. Yeah, but as I was saying, Elon, please figure out the chat because sometimes it just doesn't work. Sometimes it's funky. Sometimes I can't see everything. It bothers me. Twitter even announced that live streams are going to improve their algorithm for any account that consistently does them. So, got to make the live stream format better if you're going to encourage it. Come on, Elon. All right. Man, I hate looking at myself all the time on the stream. All right, cool. Well, until Matt gets here, I think we should talk a little bit of ball because I don't know ball like these guys, but I watch a game or two. I think I have a good idea of what's going on. So I'm just going to start running through the slate. Why not? Do we have a London game this weekend? Yes, we do. We do have a London game this weekend. Unless I'm wrong and the CBS app is lying to me right now. I believe the Jets and Vikings. Yeah. Jets and Vikings are in London this weekend, which, man, I don't know where Devontae Adams is going, but if he goes to the Jets, that is sick. I would love to see them reunite. As a Garrett Wilson fantasy owner, whatever, it sucks, but that would be sick because I do have a Jets future. I was high on the Jets before the season, and I'm not out in them after the Broncos game. I think Aaron Rodgers and I don't really have faith in Saleh, but I have faith in Aaron Rodgers and the talent that they have. So I still think they're on a good path. Minnesota's defense has been incredible. Obviously, Sam Darnold is kind of the story around that team just because he's been lights out and surpassed all expectations. Jettas is the man. Jettas might be the best player in the NFL right now. But man, like Minnesota looks great. 4-0. New York looked terrible last week. All signs pointing towards Minnesota -3 in London, which is exactly why I'll probably take the Jets. And I'll probably look at some of their props because it does feel like all the momentum is in Minnesota, and the Jets had a little bit of a hiccup, but that's the NFL brain it teaches you to look at moments like that and say, there's no way Minnesota loses to the Jets right now. They're rolling. That's exactly when it happens. I've been a victim to it a million times. Anybody who watches the NFL and bets on it consistently understands what that is. I could eat my words, but I do like the Jets in that game. And then we have the Trade Bowl. The Trade Bowl is Carolina and Chicago. Obviously, Chicago absolutely fleeced Carolina in what could be one of the worst trades ever made now that Bryce Young is bad. So Chicago has to win that game. At home, 4-point favorite. They absolutely have to win that game. If they lose that game, it's bleak. I'm in Chicago. I'm surrounded by a ton of Chicago fans. So I need them to pull through, so I have happy friends. And obviously a bunch of my friends in Iowa are Bears fans, so I want them to be happy because if they lose to the Panthers, I don't even want to deal with those guys. I'm going to have to hear all the season's over, we're terrible, all that stuff. And, I don't want to hear it. So, FanDuel Guru, you're the man. Thank you for your positivity, bro. Cool. I'm going to call Matt real quick. Matt is Dead Press Picks, for those who don't know. Come on now. All right, I think he's having some internet issues because it's bringing him in, but it's not populating in here. So we might have to wait on Dead Prez, but I mean, if you guys don't mind me yapping, I can yap. I can talk ball all day. Unfortunately for you guys, I can talk ball all day. Okay. I'm just going to keep running through the NFL slate. Oh, and take Iowa spread against Ohio State. It was 21.5. Now they're plus 19.5. The line's moving in Iowa's favor. You know what to do there. Ohio State fans, leave me alone. Next one might be the game of the week. Huge moment for both teams, but really Cincinnati. It's, the Ravens versus the Bengals in Cincinnati. Bengals are a 3-point underdog. That line looks weird. I would have expected them to be a little bit bigger of an underdog, but they got their first win last week. They looked pretty good. Jamar Chase looks unbelievable. His, yak is just crazy, but he's going to need more targets if they're going to win. It looked like I think he got like 5 targets last week. He needs to get like 8 to 10 targets a week for them to compete. Then Buffalo, Houston, that might be game of the week. We have a great NFL slate. Buffalo and Houston, both 3-1 teams. Houston's a 1-point underdog at home. You know what to say about home dogs. It's always tough. Buffalo got, brought back down to earth a little bit by Baltimore, and God, man, the AFC is crazy. It's really so lopsided in this league right now. Has been for the last couple of years, but now that CJ Stroud is in the AFC, like it's just getting even worse. And then Indiana, Jacksonville, both teams that are just like, I don't want to watch them at all. If Anthony Richardson isn't throwing moonshots and doing crazy stuff, they're terrible. He got hurt last week. He's questionable for this week. I think he'll probably play because he just has missed so much football. I think he's a guy that just wants to be on the field. And Jacksonville, 0-4, man. Like, Trevor Lawrence, that contract is definitely going to be in question. I mean, it's just, I don't know what's going on there. They have so many weapons. Travis Etienne looks terrible. Tank Bigsby might be the guy now. Things are definitely shifting over there. Yeah, I don't even know what to say about that game. I will not be watching it. I can tell you that. I'll have Red Zone up, and I'd be surprised if Red Zone. Yeah, it's supposed to rain in that game too. I mean, that's just going to be gross. The total 46.5. Interesting. Feels like an under game. Who knows? All right. Having issues. Yeah, I don't think Matt can connect, so I think we're going to probably have to end here soon. If anybody has a question in the chat, I am going to move over to TikTok. If you want to keep talking ball, I will be on our TikTok at DubClub_win. We'll be talking a little bit more fantasy over there just because TikTok gets a little iffy with the sports betting talk. So we'll talk fantasy, we'll talk some props, but that'll all be over on our TikTok. So hop on over to TikTok and we'll talk more ball. But again, both Matt, Dead Press Picks, and Slops Dub Clubs are right underneath this stream. Both are free trials if you want to get in on their weekend action. Both 3-day free trials. So go check out their Dub Clubs. Best of luck to everybody in their bets tonight. Best of luck on fantasy, whatever you got going on tonight. Best of luck to Slop in his bowling league. Everybody tweet him, wish him luck. I appreciate everybody for tuning in, hopping in the chat, and we will catch you next week, same time. Hopefully Dead Prez can figure out his tech, but we'll all be on here and maybe some other guests. So I really appreciate you guys, and we'll be over on TikTok if you want to keep going.